This is Alison here with yet another chess game video. I just seem to keep getting myself in really interesting games, so I thought I just have to share this with you. So I just played this about 5 minutes ago. I hope you guys like and enjoy it. So I started off with King's Pawn opening. And he responded Queen's Gambit. I love this opening. So I played Queen's Gambit Accepted. Normally I expect the Queen to take the center pawn, of which I then develop my knight and chase his queen around the board. But obviously this guy is smarter than that. So he develops his knight, now has two attackers on this pawn. I decide that I'm just going to let him keep that. So normally how this opening is supposed to work is now I'm meant to play d4, but I forgot my move. And after d4, knight takes d5, but I didn't play that, he didn't play that. Instead, I developed my knight to f3. He didn't take my center pawn, just continues development. Now I push my center pawn, d4. He keeps pushing it out further. Very interesting opening, and in a way very dangerous. Definitely opening up to fianchetto his bishop here. I am developing my knight with the intention as well that he might perhaps move his pawn down here, kicking my knight to the rim, of which then I fully expect to jump down to here. If he pushes this pawn anywhere to attack my knight, that's okay, I don't mind. He will align my doubled pawns anyway. At the same time, my knight over here will be attacking his fianchetted bishop, because I fully intend on castling kingside given his assault on my queenside right now already. So yeah, that's what I'm planning, and yep, he kicks my knight, I move, he takes my center pawn finally. I develop my light square bishop. He of course has the option of taking my bishop right here, knight takes bishop, pawn takes, and of course then bishop can take this knight, but then queen will take. But again, bishop now has a really nice line on my king side, so I've got to be a bit careful. If I choose to move my queen, it's no longer defending this knight, and if the bishop takes this knight, I'll be forced to take with my g2 pawn. So he continues development rather than take my bishop, which I think is a very smart move. Rather than lose a very important minor piece, which is in the center, just keep development, and I think this is a very good move by him. So now I castle. Keep in mind, in castling, knight can still take bishop again, but then I would fully intend on taking the knight back with this pawn and now have a nice open file of my rook. So yeah, now he brings his bishop out. I thought that was kind of, in a way, redundant. He should have, well, if I were him, I would have moved his my bishop down to here. Having a greater attack on my h2 pawn. He decides to be conservative, he brings his bishop out, obviously to castle kingside, of which he then does. I bring my queen out here with the full intention of perhaps having the option of knight moving to g5, attacking the h7 square, hopefully prompting h6 to kick my knight, of which knight moves back, then I just sack my dark square bishop on h6. After pawn takes back, queen takes at h6, and his king side is just ruined. But he didn't, this is just me thinking out loud, I didn't end up moving my knight over to here because I was afraid of this bishop just coming along and just taking it, because my knight was pretty menacing at that point. So yeah, instead I moved my knight here, and this was with another intention, hoping to prompt the f6 push to kick my knight, of which when it moves back, it weakens his center pawn on e6, of which if this his knight moves, then when bishop takes the e6 pawn, he takes the check. But this is, again, he didn't do this. And I'm not sure why, but he now moved his knight here. Still not sure why. I think he wanted to open up the bishop diagonal onto my king side. But I thought that was kind of a waste of a move as well. It also, like, in a way, gave me room to push my center pawn. And even though right now he's got like 4 defenders on d5, he's got the bishop, he's got the queen, the pawn, and the knight, whereas I only have like 2 defenders if I push d5, so I would lose the exchange. It still opens that option for me. So I swung my rook over to d1 with the full intention of just marching this pawn down. Once I have this open file, I have a really nice assault, just coming straight down. And of course he saw me coming, so he moved his queen, but at the same time, now I see he's attacking my knight. But at this point, I want to move my knight from the room, because knights on the room are grim, right? So develop my knight. At the same time, I know that he would want to take. He wants to keep his bishop here. Obviously, it's like the strongest thing right now, attacking my king side. So obviously he should take my knight, and taking my knight opens up the file. So now I take that back. Now he's now developing his knight, attacking my knight, at the same time defending the pawn here, of which my queen is attacking. He could have instead pushed this pawn here, which I would have thought would have been better, but yeah, instead he just developed his knight. So of course I took with the intention of scooping up an extra point. I didn't have to take. I mean, sure, this knight, you might argue, is a very active piece, pretty important piece as well. But honestly, I couldn't see anything like really worthwhile that this knight could do for me. So I just took, and I just like went up a point by scooping up this extra pawn. But of course, when he takes back with this queen, now he's threatening mate, so I'm forced to push f3, and now keep in mind as well, I was expecting that the knight comes down to here to g4. I can't take back because queen is threatening mate, but I realize now that knight coming down to here, of course I would take, because if queen takes, I already have a defender, queen over here. So that's why he had to move this rook over here first to d8 to kick my queen. So of course I just took the pawn. Now he moves the knight, okay, and I can't take. But yeah, so now I'm like, he's attacking this bishop, also threatening a fork. If I move my bishop to any other way, somewhere that doesn't defend the square anymore, the knight now has a really nice fork on my rooks. So I should just keep it around, right? So now he does a rook swap. Sure, that's fine. At the same time, I move my bishop here, attacking the rook that was previously here. Now he kicks my bishop. Obviously, I'm not going to take his knight. Now he's threatening mate. I just keep my bishop on this diagonal. If I move my bishop here, for instance, it's kind of redundant. I'm not sure what it's going to be doing around here. If my bishop comes here, for instance, the rook just comes here, and then the bishop is just forced back all the way down to here. Again, redundant move. So I feel like it's more importantly placed on this diagonal. So yeah, I just kept it there. Oh, and this was a very interesting and risky move. Just continuing his assault on my king side, very aggressive. If this was a bullet game, it might work, but this was blitz. This was a 10-minute game. I had plenty of time. And yeah, so he did this. This was very risky. But I humoured him, so sure, I let him have it. And of course, now he thinks he's really awesome by pinning my bishop to my rook. I can't move my dark squared bishop anymore, because if I move it, then this rook is dead, right? And he takes a check. So I prevent, I cover that rook attack on my pin. I actually kill lots of birds with one stone. I now also am attacking his knight. Now it's a real threat. He has to move it. He's forced to move it. And now At the same time, I have this plan in mind to move my light square bishop to e4. I already have an attacker on his light squared bishop, pushing my bishop to e4. It really skewers his queen and his bishop. I think that's an X-ray attack. And this bishop is pretty much lost. What he could have done to defend both the knight and prevent my light squared bishop moving to e4 was instead pushing f5, but he didn't do that because I don't think he saw it. So yeah, then he played this knight, I played my bishop move, now he plays this rook here, and this is rather interesting. So what I could do was to swap my bishop for his rook, take his rook here, then pawn takes back and it closes up the file, and I don't like that. I really like this nice open file that I have here. At the same time, if I take this here after pawn takes, it covers up the diagonal, sure, but it's only temporary because obviously he's going to want to intend to push that pawn later on. So really not very nice if I take with the bishop right now. So I figured, and I calculated this, perhaps I should just push c4. So I push c4, and of course what he could do now is rook takes bishop. And after rook takes bishop, if bishop takes queen, then rook takes rook with check, king moves up to here, and then bishop takes the bishop that is now here, and he's not behind anymore. So then I would just be stuck with one queen versus his bishop, his rook, and his knight. So it would be really not a very good position for me. I would lose my advantage, in other words. So when I played c4, if he played rook takes bishop, I would of course take rook takes d2 and continue to enjoy my open file. And I mean, at the same time, I still have that X-ray attack on his bishop. So yeah, he didn't do that. Instead, he played something, probably the best move out of that. He played queen check. Now, if I just move my king, for instance, then obviously that's bad. After queen takes, bishop takes queen, rook now takes rook with check. It's just a horrible position. So I'm forced to take the queen. I take, and he takes back. Then I still am up my minor piece. And of course now he takes this free pawn. I end up now opening my file at the same time, attacking my bishop, rather than for me to just take this pawn here. That's kind of, I can take that at any time. There's nothing stopping me because I'm attacking his knight. He's forced to move that. So he's always in a way behind a move. Now he moves his knight here, which I think is a smart thing for him to do. It covers up this diagonal if I ever wanted to move my light squared bishop down here. It also in a way covers him from having to push f5 and further weakening his kingside defense. Anyway, I develop. He moves his rook, forking my bishop and pawn. I really, at this stage, don't care about my a2 pawn. I just check him, and I do have a possible checkmate, which is rook to h8 checkmate. But of course, he's got his knight here. So after moving that king, I of course continue my onslaught, my attack on his knight, and now it's just really inevitable that he pushes f5. He just can't stop it. He has to move it. So he moves that. Now I just continue, check. Now I blundered here, so after checking, what I should have done was play rook g7 check and then take the knight. I didn't do that. Instead I scooped up this pawn, he scooped up my other pawn, and then I just took. So I checked and then took his knight. At this point he resigned, but this was a really interesting game. So anyway, let me know what you think. Like it, comment, yeah, and yeah, let me know if there's anything I missed or is anything he should have played. But yeah, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Cheers.